second. All right, peer review training. Let me make you the host, Elizabeth.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
All right, give us your wisdom.
I am just going to go through everything with you, starting from when you receive a manuscript. So this is Scholar One. I showed it to you before, and it hasn't changed. I don't think it will ever change, but so when you receive a manuscript, you're going to get an email, and the email is going to look something like, they're all automated. I'm trying to find one. Right here. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to say manuscript. The manuscript ID is now in your admin center. So this is the admin center right here. This part is for the peer review process. And then this is just kind of how many articles you have on here. This is really helpful when you're doing the articles inventory. And then these are all of the articles that we've accepted that have not gone through Hofstra's site checking and process yet. So they sit there until they're finished. And once they're finished, Nicole will send you the final manuscript. And you're gonna.
Do you mean which Nicole? Just so that
you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. It's okay.
Oh my God. I might have to log in again. Can you still see my screen? Okay.
Yeah, it loaded.
Okay. So this is where you'll get them. The waiting admin checklist is where you're going to get them. So I have 3 different types of articles here. So I'm going to start with this one because this is the most common one you're going to get. This is just a regular manuscript that's going to go through the peer review process. So what you do when you get one of these articles is you're going to go to the manuscript files and see that so they submit a bunch of different documents. The only thing that goes out to the reviewer are the main document, and then if there's any figures. So what you're going to do is you're going to mark everything but the main document. You go here to edit details, and then you say additional file not for review and not for publication. Okay. And then.
So do you pick that? This is like a stupid question, but do you pick that each time, or does it?
Yeah, you have to pick it for each file. So you go through and you all of them, the title page, everything, because everything that goes to the reviewers needs to be totally anonymous. So like the title information, all of this stuff, you go so these are already not for review, not for publication. So these should all be not checked off except for the main document. And then if there's figures, you can keep the figures in there. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to download the manuscript.
But what do you mean by figure?
So it will say figure. So it's like, it's like a graph. If the article like has a graph or like a table, and they sometimes submit it as a separate document, and they say what it is here. So it will say figure. I would look at it and make sure none of the authors' names are there, because you don't want anything that has the author's names to go to the reviewers. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that the document is blinded. Is there a way that I can just show my whole screen instead of just part of the screen? Do you know?
Yeah. So if you stop sharing screen and then you click share screen again, it should give you options. And it looked like you checked the Chrome URL one, but you just click desktop instead and it'll show you.
Oh, okay. Does it show you back to, like, can you see yourself?
We can see ourselves on the right if we're in gallery screen, but it doesn't impact our view.
Like desktop though.
Yeah. So, but you don't see like yourself on my screen. That's okay.
Said we see it on our own screens.
Okay. So this is the document. I'm going to open it. And right here, this is what it looks like. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to Command F all of the authors' names. So they're all going to be right here. Sometimes it's just one author, and sometimes it's a lot like these. So this is Mendez. not in there. So hopefully they're going to be blinded already. But a lot of times they don't realize that if they publish a article and then, cited themselves in their article, you still have to blind that. So like one of their older articles, their name can't be anywhere in here. I'm trying to see if there is one.
So did you download this straight from?
Yeah, I just, when you just click on it, it will download.
Okay.
And it just put it on your desktop.
And then say like the author's name did come up. How exactly do you
I'll show you.
Okay.
I think this one's totally blinded, so we don't have to worry about doing it, but I'll just show you how to do it. So how you would do it is if it's, okay, like let's say this is the author, you would change this to author and
Okay.
you don't have to change anything else. So you would just change that to author. And a lot of times they are not blinded. Like usually that's very rare that you don't have to change anything. And then let's say like this is the author's article, you would change it to author's publication. Like that.
Okay.
And then you resave the file.
Is this an ABA one?
No, yeah, this is an ABA one. It's the same thing though, if it's footnotes.
Okay.
You would just do the same thing. If it's the actual whole citation, you do author's publication. If it's just the last name, you just change that to author. So what I do then is to make sure it's different, I say blinded and then underscore, and then I put the FRC number. And that's what I title the document. And then what you would do then is, I'm just going to do it as if this is a different document. I upload it as the main document. Here, right there, blinded. I'm just going to do it. It doesn't really matter if they're the same.
So Elizabeth, the only thing that you did here was correct and screen it for any names and to make it blind. Okay.
Yeah. So, oh, actually, you know what I should do with that one, because there were highlights, I'm going to delete that and then show you. So sometimes authors will submit things with tracked changes. You want to accept everything that's tracked. You don't want to send the tracked changes to the reviewers. So like for this, they have some stuff that are highlighted. I'm going to unhighlight that. That's something that I can do, because you want it just to be kind of like a normal document that's going through the reviewers. So that's what it looks like now.
If there's like hyperlinks, do we have to unhyperlink?
No, don't worry about anything like that, because if that will all be looked at before it gets published. You're not like screening it. You don't even need to read it. You just need to make sure it's kind of like normal. Like, and the biggest thing is it being blinded, and then sometimes they'll submit the track changes. So then I upload the main document like this. And then I'm going to change the old one like you did the other files and say not for review, not for publication. Sometimes it's a little slow. Sometimes.
So you get a list of articles that you just need to screen for potential.
Anything that is submitted that's not a special issue or a student note, you're going to screen. So then I changed the original one to not for review, not for publication. So the one I just uploaded is the one that is going to go out to reviewers. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to send it to Barbara or Marcia. So usually the social science ones goes to Marcia and Barbara gets the law ones, except you send everything to Barbara first. So this is how you're going to do it. You're just going to do it by the email. So you're going to email Barbara. The subject line is just the manuscript ID. You're going to attach what we just uploaded, the blinded version. And then I just kind of copy and paste my old emails. So let me show you. And I'll show you all, because it has all the information, and you just replace the information you just send them. Like right here, this is an old one. So like I said, Barbara gets everything first. And then if it's APA, you just tell Barbara and say that it's probably better for Marcia. So how you do it is the author's name, obviously. So you say who submitted the manuscript. It doesn't matter how many people there are. So just here, submitted the attached manuscript. And then, so then you tell them how many, let me open it again, how many pages it is and what type of citations it is. So this is 23 pages. So you say it's about 23 pages, including APA citations, and it might be better suited for Marcia, but please let me know if you would like to be assigned. And then you're also going to attach the author's bios. So they're right here. If they're not right there, they might be in a cover letter, which I'll show you in a second, but most of them just submit them in as a file. So you attach the file for the author's bios as well. And then you just give a brief summary of what the article is about. What's their bios. And you like really don't even have to read it. Like this one, just you kind of read the abstract. So I would say it's about the best interest of the child in child custody cases. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to screenshot these two questions right here. So where we were the manuscript files right here. And you're going to click to manuscript information right there. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to screenshot these two questions right here, the category selection and why it's relevant to the family court review. So I'm just going to screenshot that and you attach that as a photo. This is going to sound like really meticulous, but don't attach it as a file, attach it as a photo because Barbara won't know it's there and actually will ask you to resend it, which has happened. So don't send it as a file, send it as like a screenshot in the email like that. So then, hi, Barbara, hope all is well with you. They submitted the manuscript. It's about best interests of the child and child custody cases, 23 pages, including APA citations. It might be better suited for Marcia, but please let me know if you want to be assigned. And then the author's bios are attached. Okay, so that's how you send it to them. And then once they accept to be the EIC, they might ask you to reject the article if they don't think it's right for publication, but that's honestly kind of rare. They usually have it go through the peer review process first. So what you're going to do right now, if you had just done this, you would do nothing. You just wait until Barbara responds. And then if she asks you to send it to Marcia, you're going to send almost the exact same email to Marcia and just say, Barbara, I thought this would be better for you. Let me know if you want to be assigned.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So you said that whoever chooses to be the EIC. So does that mean that Marcia or Barbara can like assign themselves to this article?
They assign themselves. They decide between the two of them who's going to be the EIC for the article. So what it was traditionally was Marcia was doing only the social science one. So anything APA would go to Marcia and then anything Blue Book would go to Barbara. But we get more ABA, manuscripts than we do law ones. So Barbara just kind of sees them all first, and then she takes a few that she thinks she can be the EIC for.
Okay.
So they pick between the two of them.
Oh, okay. It says not assigned. Okay.
Yeah. So once they decide, like once one of them says, I'll take it. So if Barbara says, I'll take it, you don't even, you don't send anything to Marcia. So you do complete checklist. And you just answer yes to all these questions, and then you press approve. And then once you approve it, it's going to ask you to assign the EIC. And then you just click Barbara or Marcia's name. And then next it's going to go here. So once you do the checklist, it goes here, the awaiting editor-in-chief assignment. And then that's when you click off Barbara and Marcia, and then it goes awaiting reviewer selection. You don't have to do anything until they pick the reviewers. So once they pick the reviewers, it's going to look like this. So this is one that we keep getting people. I'll show you. I had this waiting for you. So Marcia has picked this person to review. All you have to do is press invite right there. And then you don't have to do anything until they respond. So if they decline, like this person declined, you just email, which is honestly like, it's a huge problem. Like you're gonna, like some of them you should see, there's like lists of people that have been asked and they all declined. Like, wow. But once, if they decline, just email whoever the EIC is and say, you need to pick another reviewer, because if you try to have them figure it out on Scholar One themselves, they'll never do it. So you have to tell them. And then, so let's say that they asked like 10 people to review and they all said no. And Marcia's like, I'm going to make the decision based on one score. You would change this number right here. Do you see it highlighted?
Yes.
So you just would press like 1, and then I'm not going to do it, and then save, and it automatically will update and it will push it forward. So that's how you switch the reviewers. It's very easy. So once you invite the reviewers, it goes through waiting a reviewer assignment. You don't have to do anything when it's there. It's just kind of waiting for the reviewers to respond. You can always look at anything. Oh, also, if a reviewer emails you to decline and they don't decline on Scholar One, you can decline for them by right there going decline. And you can also agree for them. So yeah, then you just wait. And then once 2 people have accepted, it goes to waiting reviewer scores, where it just sits there until they submit their scores. And it sends automated emails to them to remind them you don't have to do anything unless they email you or anything. They really just sit there until they get their scores. And then once their scores come in, it goes to waiting editor-in-chief decision, and you don't really have to do anything at that point. So the only thing you're really doing here is kind of like if you need to re-invite new reviewers, you're doing that. Sometimes you'll have to help some of the reviewers submit their scores, which is really easy actually, because you can proxy any single account on Scholar One for any of the reviewers or any of the authors or even Barbara and Marcia. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. So this is a special issue author, which I'm going to show you what that means in a second, but we're going to accept it. And I'm going to show you how to proxy an account. So right next to any name, it's going to say proxy, and you just click on it. And here you're in the account as if you're Barbara, as you can see right there. So I'm going to go to make decision, accept. I don't know why it's commit decision. So this is a special issue author. So I don't need to tell them they're accepted. They know. So what I'm going to do here, and this is like just an example, you'll have to do this sometimes. You can't not have it send the email. So instead of having it send the email, I'm going to have it send the email to me. And I'm also going to have it send it from my account, not Barbara's. So I'm just going to switch that there and save and commit decision. And then now it's been accepted. You can end the proxy and go back to you. And it's right here in accepted first look assignment. So I can't really go through the first look stuff with you right now, but it's very easy. And I have instructions on how to do it. Basically, you're just bypassing a bunch of stuff and then you export it. And I can't show you how to do that without actually exporting it. And I can't actually export them right now. So I'm sorry, I can't show you that, but it's really not hard. I don't think I did it in my training last year, but it's in, I'm going to show you. I think I saw the document up. Here. So this is it's going to be right here. You just hit, it will say like click cancel bypass task, step automatically skipped. And then you just mark everything checked off in the admin checklist and then export. It's really simple. So that's the first type of article you're going to have to do. That's really all you have to do for them. And then the next type of article you're going to have is the revised article. So when Barbara and Marcia make a decision on the article, they can accept it. They can accept it with minor changes. They can accept it with major changes. They can do revise and resubmit, and they can do like just totally reject it. And if it's anything but reject or accept, they're going to have to submit a follow-up manuscript. And when it gets submitted, the number looks like this. It says R1 after. So this is the first revision. So what you're going to do for that is a little different. So you're going to go back again to the manuscript files, and you're going to do everything you would have done if it was a new submission, like what we just did. You're going to mark everything as not for review, not for publication. Except the main document. So this is the main document, because this is a revision. So mark this one, not for review, not for publication. So it kind of keeps it like as if it's the same account when they submit the manuscript. So it's all together. And so what you're going to do is basically, again, you're going to make sure everything's blinded. So like you can see right here, the authors' names are right there. So I'm going to change. Oh my God, they have track changes on. So turn off the track changes if they have track changes on, which happens all the time. Okay, off. And you're going to change it to authors like that. And then you're going to Command F the last names. Okay, they don't have any that you need to change other than that one, except they do, as you can see, they have track change. So you're just going to go through and accept everything. And it's honestly so annoying when they do this, but it is what it is. Okay, so then you're going to again change the title, blinded, and then manuscript ID number. And then so for revised manuscripts, it's going to be, you're going to send a slightly different email to Barbara and Marcia. So first you need to see who was the original EIC. So you just search the number without the RI and it will take you to the original submission. And you can see Barbara is the EIC. So what you're going to do is you're going to email Barbara. These are automated emails. See, every time we like made the decision, this is now ready for in your admin center. You're going to get an email from Scholar One and it's going to look like this. So again, I just go to my sent email and find an email I sent about the revisions. Just to kind of keep it consistent, make sure I'm sending all the same information. I can't find a revised one. There's got to be one coming up.
When you say revised, do you just mean that you had to like change the author?
It means that the author has submitted a revision.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a second version of the document. So it has already gone through the peer review process, and it's just going through a second time with the original submissions. So you want to make sure, Barbara and Marsha like having the same articles or the same authors do. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here's one. So they like to have the same reviewers revise the article a second time and kind of make sure that that what they had told the author to do, the author did. And if there's anything else to do, they just think that they're the best people to do it. So here's an example of one. So I'm going to say to Barbara, I'm going to say, here's a revised manuscript that, who's the author? Okay, and then you attach the revised manuscript so they can look at it. And then you're going to send them their own email to the reviewers and their decision letter. And then also the author's response. So it's right here. So it's really easy to just know where to find it because they're both together. So you're going to first send the decision letter. This is Barbara's letter to the author saying what they needed to change on their original submission. So I just copy and paste it in there. And then I'm also going to send the author's response. So this is the author's response to all of the criticism from the reviewers. And they address all the comments that were made. And then you're also in this email, you're asking them if you want to if they want you to invite the same reviewers. So this is everything. Oh, and again, the subject line is just whatever the manuscript ID is. Okay. So the last type of submissions you're going to get are special issues. And this is what I was saying to you before that's new and that I didn't have to do this, but I just started doing this recently. So when you get a submission, you can look at the details and it will say right here, is this for a special issue? Yes. And then it will say the special issue name. So what you're going to do with these is first, you're going to send so this is what's new. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this because when I just did this morning, Barbara sent that email so annoying. So I'm trying to think how to avoid that. So
she doesn't want to get the notification each time you do this?
She's going to. So I don't know what she wants. Like I specifically asked if she wanted you, Nicole, to be.
Yeah, I see that.
To be the EIC.
I
Were
can
you
get
there
it.
in that email?
I was in the meeting. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like if she's okay with that and you want to set, so what is it? Just a change of the email of who gets
like
it?
literally is nothing you need to do. Like it just makes it so you would get the automatic emails. That's why I'm like, but I'm not going to do that until she says it. So as of right now, so this special issue, I believe is the one that Barbara is doing. Let me just double check that really quick before I do anything. And before I do anything on Scholar One, I'm just going to send Barbara an email telling her to disregard everything. Because that's a special issue. Okay. Sorry, it's like in the actual stuff is like from Delilah in my text. So otherwise I would show you. Normally I would never even look at these, but since we changed it to this, I need to know now. So I'm just checking the table of contents for the special issue. And yeah, this is on this. So this is one of Barbara's. So I'm going to send this to Barbara and say, Hi, Barbara. Okay. Hi, Barbara. Please. Oh my God, I cannot type today. I'm sorry. You guys have to witness this. Okay.
It's okay.
Please disregard any S1 regarding.
There's really no, I'm sorry, I don't, you know what, I'll say it after you said type.
No, what are you gonna say?
Like, is there any way in Scholar One to turn off the
No,
automated?
we already
Oh,
asked. We also asked if we could just have them set to, you know, if they say they're a special issue, if we could ask them to just not even put it through and just accept it and put it straight to the bottom. And they said, no, there's no way to change that unless we want to change the entire structure of S1, which we don't really want to do.
Okay.
The only reason we have to do this is because it's honestly really frustrating for like specifically you and me, Nicolette, because no one else has to deal with this really. But like the only reason they're doing it this way is because of the statistics on the journal. Like it doesn't actually structurally change anything for anyone else. It's just like helps the publishing company get better statistics on what we publish and how often we publish. So that's why it's just like so frustrating, but it's at least not a huge deal because they're going to submit them. It could have been worse. I'll just say it that way, because there was like a point where we were addressing like having me manually upload everything that's a special issue, and we're not doing that. So I was just gonna say, you don't need to do anything on it. I will accept it. I'm gonna say, let me know if you want any more information on this.
Is there, I mean, it seemed at the March meeting that there's a general resistance to changing these things to Scholar One. Have you experienced that?
What do you mean?
Like
from
among
who?
the authors and the I guess
So
everybody, I don't know what to call them, like
I kind of have a resistance on this because I think that if they wanted us to do this, their websites, like as you've seen, like now that you've like been witnessing me go through Scholar One,
Mhm.
it's very geared towards the peer review process. It's really what it is. And these articles don't need to be peer reviewed. So I just think it's like unnecessary. And if they really care that much about having their statistics, they should have like an easier way to do this. It's not so tedious, but it's really not a big deal.
Okay.
As we've like, it could have been, like I said, it could have been worse. Like how we have done it is kind of like the most efficient way, and it's more tedious than anything else. And it's not something you're gonna have to deal with often. It's just every so often when you get them, all you have to do is this. Like I just sent Barbara that email. I don't know if there will be an easier form. Maybe Barbara will decide we're gonna have to make you an EIC account anyway, Nicole, because we're going to assign all the student notes to you. So what I'm about to do for the special issue, you're going to do the same thing with the student notes once you get them, which that I haven't done yet.
Okay.
So you go here, and this is what you do with all of them. You're going to accept it by completing the checklist. So you're just saying yes to everything, approving it.
Is the order of these steps like in that sheet you did? Because I feel like
Yes,
I'm gonna like
yes.
mess up the order.
Yes, it's honestly like I felt the same way last year. I was like, there's so much that's like confusing, and it's a lot of stuff to
Yeah, that's what I'm
remember.
thinking right now. I'm like, am I gonna mess this
But
up?
you're really not. Like the most important thing is just remembering that before anything goes to the reviewers, it needs to be blinded. Like Barbara and Marcia know who the authors are. So if you send them a manuscript and like you forget to blind it, it's not a big deal. You just have to make sure before it's accepted and before they assign reviewers that it's blinded. So just everything is in the order of the sheet I'm going to give you. Just follow that and you're really going to be fine. Once you do it like 3 or 4 times, like it's going to start coming natural. Like by June, you're going to know how to do this, and it's going to be just like very, very like you could do it in your sleep.
Okay, hopefully.
And if any like small things come up, just you can always text me like whenever, even next year. I really don't care. I'll
Okay,
help
that's
you.
good
And
to know.
I
I'll
have
probably be careful what you say because I'll probably text you.
no, honestly, it's like totally fine. Last year I was like texting Alana and I was like, and she was like, oh, like I'm in bar prep right now. And I felt so bad, but she helped me. But so I did the same thing. Like it's really fine. Like there's no one else that can help you
Exactly.
besides me. Like, and like it was the same thing with me last year. Like there's no one else, like Delilah doesn't know Scholar One. Like you can't even ask Barbara,
You're kinda,
Marsha,
like,
and
stuck
they've been
with
using
it.
this for years. They have no idea. Like you can call the Wiley customer service is very helpful when sometimes like small things have come up where I've needed to email them, like certain stuff about people creating accounts, because that is really unpredictable. And I don't even know if you'll ever have to deal with that. But sometimes, you know, like when reviewers, when they transition the reviewers, you're just going to send them a link to where to create the account, which is just literally this link right here. That's it. So it's like all of that stuff is fine. And then if anything comes up that I can't help with you with, you can always call the Wiley customer service. They're very helpful. So after you do that admin checklist, this is what it's going to look like when you're awaiting the EIC assignment. You're just going to click Barbara, assign. What are the chances she emails me about this? Are probably 100%, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay. And then you change this to 0 and then you save it. And then right here, make the decision. We're accepting it because it's a, did you see, I'm sorry, I kind of went through that fast. Did you see that I changed the reviewers to 0?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, this might be stupid, but how do you know that you're definitely accepting it? It's just like
Because it's sorry, I dropped something, but so the reason you know it's because it's a special issue. So the special issue ones have already been accepted and they're just awaiting publication. And I think that the special issues do go through our staff. So you're going to keep that. So you're not going to export them, but you're accepting them because we already know they're going to get published. So they don't need to be peer reviewed. So you know it's a special issue because it says special issue. Wait, what?
what? I was
Oh
like,
my God, this is the wrong one. Oh no, wait, this is something else. I'm sorry. I just made a mistake. I'm sorry. This is my
Don't
fault.
be sorry. You have, so I can tell the amount of knowledge that you have in your head right now. So
I know. I'm
it's
like,
okay.
I'll deal with that in a second. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay. This is where you're, so right here, you can tell it's the admin issue. Okay, I'm sorry, the special issue right here. Wiley, is this for special issue? Yes. And then this is the special issue that it's going to be published in. So this is how I know it goes to Barbara. So that Nicole's going to have all of that information. So once you get one of these, I know this specific special issue, Barbara is overseeing it. So I know they go to Barbara. And then, so what I'm going to do again is the admin checklist. Approve. Oh my God, I'm sorry that I assign Barbara, press 0. This is where you know they're not going through the reviewers. And then you are going to accept it.
so basically with the special issues, you always accept, and do you also always put the 0 there too? Since
yes,
because
okay. They never go through the peer review process.
So then a follow-up question to that is, like, say the article before, like they're mostly articles you said. How do you know for sure that like we're accepting it? Is it just something you like know?
So you know so the article before, I wasn't supposed to accept that. That's where I made the mistake, and I'm gonna fix that after, or I guess I could try to do that now. This is just
Yeah, because I could see myself doing that. So you
yeah.
want to show me how to
I might need to just honestly, how do I do this? View details. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the reviewers and I'm going to put it back. I just think where I made a mistake is that this is probably going to go to Marsha. I thought I was dealing with the other one and I was distracted. That's my fault. I honestly have never done this before. Like I've never made this mistake before. Okay, here.
Because you're like trying to teach. So
yeah, so I'm just going to change this back to 2 and it's going to push it out of EIC decision. And then I wonder if I can remove Barbara as the EIC. So this is here. I'll show you how to use Wiley. So I'm going to do Wiley. Actually, I have the link in this document. No, not that document. The directions right here. So, okay, no, that's their support team. So I can send them an email. So that's how you would fix that, basically. Just send them an email and say you want to put it back into the waiting EIC decision. And then tell them the manuscript number.
okay.
Or I wonder if there's another way to do this. I actually have never made this mistake before. So
It's
I'm
good
kind
that
of
this happened
curious.
because, like,
yeah.
No, I'm glad that, honestly,
Me
because
too,
just
'cause
in
I'm
case
kinda
that
like
ever
I probably would do this.
yeah, like, so it sounds like just in case you ever put something in the wrong list, like you could email the
Yeah.
Wiley customer service to override
See,
it.
it's like funny because I think it's honestly just because now there's like all these different types of manuscripts. It's like more you have to think about. Oh, right here, assign a different person. I think that's it.
And you said that you weren't supposed to accept that one, so would you just not press anything?
So, yeah. So,
Sorry if my questions are
not
dumb.
letting.
Like,
No, not at
Oh,
all. It's
Nicolette,
not,
I'm wondering the same thing.
it's not letting me change it. I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna tell Barbara to if she says anything, I'll say something, but if not, I'm gonna say, or I'll just say I accidentally put this in your EIC. That's what, and then I can change it to Marsha if need be, or reject it. Hi, Barbara.
I feel like this email is like
She always like gets like
keeps
10 from me at like a time, like because I just kind of do this like every other day. I do everything at once. So I'm always like, I have another manuscript for you today. Like, it's me again. Like,
hi, just sent you an
Barbara.
email 5 minutes ago.
I like Marsha, I think you talk to it like a little bit less just because she's like a little less involved now. But I'm just gonna say, I made a mistake.
You can even say, like, I was training.
No, it's I'm
gonna
just gonna
say,
say I made a
blame
mistake in a
Blame it
sign.
on us.
Yeah.
You're asking too many questions now.
Too early. I'm gonna say please disregard it.
I mean, she's probably gonna guess that you are training because, like,
Oh my god, she's can't connect the dots like that. You're
really. I was gonna say, if you never made a mistake, she like, you know, and then
I know she just is like, she's like, I'm not even kidding. She when I added that as a file to the email, like that screenshot, she couldn't find it. Like, that's why I'm saying you can't add it as a file. Like, it's something that's so stupid, but she couldn't find it. I had to resend it to her. She was like, you need to send me those. I was like, I sent them in all of them. They're just as a file. I was like, I can resend them as a screenshot. She was like, I don't know what you did, but please just keep doing it the second way. And I was like, okay.
Question, I hope this doesn't come across bad, but how old are they? I'm just like,
they're not even that old, but they are retired, but they're not that old. They're like in their probably 60s. I mean,
I was guessing that. Yeah, okay. That's not that bad.
yeah. I'm gonna say please disregard it. I can email it to, or I can assign it. I can still, I can still assign it to Marsha or reject need be. Sorry.
So
Me and I'm like I'm talking about Barbara like this, but I actually think like she's hilarious. Like,
Can I
she's
ask?
like,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
Oh no, yeah.
no,
What
no.
were you gonna ask?
So no, I was just wondering. A couple of things. So, do you get a notification when there is a new article
Yeah,
for you to
you
screen?
get literally notifications with everything. Like every time anyone is given, like even all the emails that are sent to the reviewers saying, you know, uh, this is your review is late, you'll get those emails too. So you can kind of monitor what's going on that way. You don't have to do anything, but it's just good to see.
Nicolette will get that, right? Or will
Yeah,
I?
yeah. No, you won't get that.
Okay, okay.
Nicolette will get that. Do you have any other questions at this point? That's really all you need to do with Scholar One.
Yeah, I have one more question.
Yeah,
How often do you need to go through? So in the awaiting admin checklist, there's one, but like, is there like a certain amount per day, or is it depending on?
it really depends. I mean, you get like one every few days, really.
Okay.
And then I don't know if that's going to change with the special issues. I think that probably like right before they need to submit them the deadline. I don't know what deadline they're given, but like I've only received 2 special issues since they sent out the email to the special issue authors. So I'm gonna assume that they kind of just all get them all at once.
Mhm.
Or like
Okay.
they're all gonna like at the deadline send them all at once, and then all you have to do is reject them, and I'm sorry, accept them all. So I'm gonna put so this is I should have sent you this before, but I was writing up the special issue part, and I still have to finish that before I send it to you. So this is the peer review process with the regular articles is right here.
would you say you do that the most, like the article part?
Yeah, that's the most amount of your work. And then this is with the revised manuscript. And then here I'm writing the special issue and the student notes.
Mhm.
That is really the biggest thing with Scholar One.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else too. Is there a particular turnaround time for when something appears in the awaiting admin checklist and when you need to screen it? And when I say you, I guess I
They
mean you and
have
Nicolette.
they have deadlines on them, like if you'll see, but those are really like nothing happens. Like it says this is 2 days overdue, like nothing happens. It just is like just trying to make sure you move it along. Like it's not me usually that's like holding it up. It's usually the reviewers. So it really, there's no specific time. It kind of depends on if you're getting people to accept reviewing, it goes faster. And then also some of the reviewers will accept to review and then they just won't do it for so long. Like, so there's really no time. It's not really even that important just because not everything that's being submitted is going to get accepted. So,
Mhm.
really like they could be going through for months because they could have to totally revise their whole paper,
Mhm.
so it's not really like, it's not like we know these are going to be accepted, so you need to make sure they get through for a specific amount of time. Does that make sense? So like most of these articles are not even going to be accepted, they're just going to be, so there's no like time restriction on it.
Mm. So anybody can upload something to Scholar One and
If
hope
they
that it
make an
gets published?
account, anyone can. And then Barbara won't accept anything unless if it's a student, she only accepts like professionals in the field, which is why I send her the author bios, which is also a new thing I do. I didn't have to do that up until last month, but we started getting some student submissions from colleges like all over the world.
Mhm.
And Barbara didn't want to accept them. So I was like going on a goose chase, like trying to figure out who these people were that were submitting the manuscript. So then we just changed it. So now they submit a bio.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions right now? And then if not, I'll show you how to do the articles inventory.
I had one and then I literally just forgot it.
It's okay if you think of it also.
Yeah, I mean, I knew one. I know one of them was, which is a simple one. I think I already know the answer to. You have a separate email for like
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
And then
So it's like FCR articles inventory.
yeah, that's what I saw, and then I noticed yours was separate from that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna change it to your name once for April 1st. So then you can start doing it. So the articles inventories you're going to send out the first on every month. It's not, again, not a strict deadline as long as like it's within the first few days of the month. The one thing is like you can update them as you do things throughout the month, but you can't submit them early. They need to be done at the beginning of every month. So it's not really something it's just something to be like cognizant about. Like if you're a few days late, it's really not a big deal. Like no one cares. And then what you're going to do is you're going to send them every month to Nicole.
Me?
You.
Okay.
Barbara, Marcia, Robert, and Peter. So if you go through and do like, okay, March articles inventory, you can just send it to everyone. I sent it to, except instead of Delilah, it's going to be Nicole. And then you're going to add Peter because Peter just decided he wanted to do it. And I'll write the emails in the document I'm going to send you. So this is what that looks like.
Do this every month?
I do this every month.
Oh yeah, I remember you briefly telling me about this.
Yeah.
When we first discussed.
Wow.
One thing that you just have to remember is the special issues do not go in here. This is only for the regular articles. We know these special issues are being published and we know when they're being published. So you don't put these in there. So did I explain well how to know when something's a special issue and when something's not?
Yeah, no, that was clear. Yeah.
Okay. So another thing about the special issues is sometimes the titles will say, like right here, this is a special issue title. The numbers, that's how you know if there's numbers before the title. Most of the time it's special issue, but I wouldn't rely on that. I would just kind of rely on if it says yes right here. So what you're going to do is I'm going to kind of start updating the April one so I can show you how I do that. So here, let me go to.
Weird question, but do you have like a template of that chart?
Yes, I'm going to send you, I'm going to send you the March one as we're like updating it now. And I'm going to, I'll change. I copy and paste into a new one every month. So you can update it as the month goes along. I'm going to be honest, I don't do that. At the end of the month, kind of just compile everything on Scholar One and I put it in this document and I send it. I just think it's easier. I don't really think there's like any need to add things as it goes along. Like it maybe would save time, but you have to double check everything anyway. So I started off doing it that way and I just kind of like, I didn't think it was necessary. So I just do it at the beginning of every month. But if you want to do it, update it as every time you do something on Scholar One, updating the chart, you can do it that way also. Okay, so duplicate. So this is how I do it. So I just duplicate the last month, rename to like April. And then change this to April 1st. And then, so what I do is I first go through everything that's on here and I update it. So I copy and paste the manuscript ID. Oh, this is going to be good because I'll show you how to search things in Scholar One. So this is how you search it. You just search the manuscript ID there. There's other ways to search things. That's the easiest way. So here you can see that a revision has been submitted. So that this is now going to be there's going to be a third revision. So I changed that to R3 because now it's R3. And then I find the newest one.
Weird question, but how do you know, like when you're making the chart, that you've put everything that like you've gotten in the chart? Does that
you put everything in the chart except the special issues. So what I do is there's obviously different ways you can do this. And as long as it's complete, I'm just going to show you how I did it. So first I started by going through everything that's in here. So let me explain. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is explain the chart first. So the first part of the chart are the stuff that are still being reviewed and have not been accepted or rejected. Because once it's rejected, you remove it from the chart. It's no longer being taken in consideration. You can just remove it. And then if it's accepted, you're going to put it down here. in the accepted articles. And if you know when it's being published, which you won't know until Barbara or Marcia tells you, and they never tell me. They only tell me if I send them an articles inventory, and they'll say like, oh, this one is for the shit, like the Alexander article is scheduled for July, and then I'll put it in there for the next month. But other than that, like, you're not going to know. So you just leave this blank, like this one. So these are the accepted ones. These are the ones that haven't been accepted yet. So I go through the ones from last month. This one has been accepted now. It was accepted on March 16th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that down there. So I'm going to add another column. And I'm going to put this information, like the name of the manuscript ID, who the EIC is, the author, in the title. That's all you really care about. So you put that here. And you don't know, you leave this, what? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna say, when I take over, like, am I just gonna literally be going off of this already?
Yes, you just go off of this. I'll send it to you. And I'm already, like, I'm starting on the one that's due on Friday. So
Okay.
you just can keep going off of this. So now that this has been accepted, you delete the column from here.
So do you just check like every month? Like, do you just go through the ones that aren't?
Yes, that's what so exactly, that's what I do first. So I go through everything that was from last month. So this is blank. I don't know when it's being published. This is the date it was accepted. That's on Scholar One. It's right here, or I'm sorry, it's right here. It was March 16th. It was accepted. So I type in. So another reason I do it only at the end of the month is because sometimes it's kind of just saves time, because like for this one, for example, it was submitted March 6th and it was accepted March 16th. So if I had changed the articles inventory to show that it was a revision was submitted, it would have been pointless, because I ended up deleting that row anyway and moving it into accepted. So it just is kind of a time saver. But again, like if you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to do it that way. It doesn't matter really, as long as it's complete. So then that was the first one. Now I'll go to the second one and I'll see where this is now, and I'll search that. This has been revised and resubmitted. Nothing's changed with this one. So I'm just going to leave it. The revision option expired, but Marcia hasn't told me to do anything with it. So I'm just going to leave it there. Do you see what I'm doing? Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, I see it where it says underneath the date, it says revision submitted.
Yeah, revision overdue and the option expired. So
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it in there for now. And then I'll look up the next one. Oh my God, this is so annoying, because if it's not exactly, it won't come up. Okay. Revise and resubmit due August 21st. This is the same also. Decision entered of revise and resubmit due August 21st. Do you see that?
Yeah. So you just leave that then, right?
Yeah. So you just leave that. And then the next one, and you just go through all of them like this. I'm trying to see something that's different so I can show you how to change it. Revision, it's the same thing. Revision option expired. Marcia hasn't said anything. I'm just going to leave that. Then I'm going to go to the next one. The 31st or the 35th. Okay, so this one's different. This has been accepted with minor revisions. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to change this. So you're going to add something. So then so you just kind of add where it was and where it is in the process. So a decision was entered on March 24th. So you're going to write March 24th, 22. Decision entered. Oh my God, I can't. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. It says 21, March
Yeah, I was gonna
21st.
tell you that.
Oh my God. Okay. You guys can see how bad I am at
No,
typing.
it's fine. I'm so sorry. I have a class at 2:10, but
Okay.
what I'm gonna do, so Elizabeth, you're already the host because
Yeah.
you're the host. So if I leave, it shouldn't turn off the Zoom. I'm a little worried about the recording, but it should be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm honestly like almost done. I was just gonna like keep going through this and showing you how to update it. And then like
Okay.
there's only gonna be like 10 more minutes. So if it's not recorded, it's not a huge deal. And then
Okay.
Nicolette, like I said, this is your first one. If you want to do it together, I can also like I'll like let you try on, is the first on Friday?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yes,
I'll
it
let
is.
you try on the first on your own. And if you're really having a hard time doing it, I have class until 1:30, but then I can I like you can just let me know and I can make a Zoom link and we can finish it together.
Yeah, I was gonna ask too, could I always do it and like send it to you? If I
Yeah.
think I did it good, like send it to you for you to like look it over. And
Yeah,
kinda
that's
check
that
how it
works
works.
too. And then I'll look at it and then I can actually, if you want to do it that way, I'll let you do it and then I can send it to Barbara and Marcia and I can just CC you on it. So that way you'll have Peter's email also. And so we can do it that
Is
way.
Robert and Peter, just so I know.
I don't even know, honestly.
You're like, I just say the names.
I really like I know who they are because I've been in meetings with them, but I don't like actually know what
Know
they
what they
do.
do.
Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna head out, but it
Okay.
shouldn't,
Right
if
too.
for some reason it like shuts off, just text me, but it
Okay.
shouldn't because you're
Okay.
the host. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Nicole.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're honestly almost done. So I'm just going to show you. So then I say, like a lot of this also is like, you can just copy and paste it. That's what I just did. Like I just copy and pasted like decision entered, but this is decision. You can see the decision here, except with minor revision. So I just change.
And then you just make the one above black, like, because
Yes, exactly. And then you put the due date and it's due June.
Weird question, but I'm seeing like that some of the updates go far back to like last spring.
Yeah. That's how long they've been on Scholar One.
Okay, so that's what I
Yeah.
figured. So do I ever like if it's coming really long, do I ever delete
No,
the
just
dates
keep
or
everything. Yeah, just keep everything. And I don't really know what they do with this information. The only person I actually think looks at it is Barbara, but she loves them and you know,
It's probably just like easy to see.
yeah.
Like,
So don't delete anything. You can just keep it. Like you said, like some of these, because also every time if they submit a revision, you don't change the column, you just add to it. So for this part, like I have changed. So this is an example right here actually of like how many reviewers sometimes decline, and you keep records of this. So let's look at this one. So basically I just keep doing this. I go down the list, I check everything. And then, yeah, he's still overdue.
and you're kind of only looking in the status section, right?
Yeah. You see where it is. So the only time you wouldn't really look in the status is if you're looking for information on the reviewers. So which I'm going to do right here. I'll show you. So as of March 1st, he was invited, but he didn't accept yet, but he's accepted. So you write agreed because he hasn't submitted the score yet.
And would you put that in red so like she would be able to see that?
I'll put that in red here. So I leave this here and then you say when it's due. So you say comma revision, or I'm sorry, not revision, review due. And then when is it due? You can see right here, March 23rd. Due 3/23. Oh my God, 23, 22. Okay. And then this, you're going to change to, I change it to when he has, the last thing that happened was him agreeing. So I would say March, March 2002. Because do you see in the last thing I said that an additional reviewer was invited.
Mhm.
So I don't need to add that, but if that wasn't there, I would add that. So I'm going to add there. I'm going to say reviewer accepted, review due 3/23/22. And then, like you said before, I'm going to make this part black because it's not the newest thing anymore. And then you just keep going through it like that. And then if it's a new reviewer, you just write, if they're invited, you write invited. If they declined, you write decline, and you keep it like that. So I go through all of them like this. And if the manuscript was rejected, like I'm going to find one. I think this one was rejected. You just delete the line. Yeah, that was rejected. So then you just delete the whole row because you don't need it. And what's great about this chart, I don't know who originally made it, but the gray and the white does that automatically. So every time you delete a row, whatever, it keeps that updated.
Oh, gotcha.
So then for the accepted articles, you just keep everything, anything the new that was accepted, you add it here. And then July, like if this was like February, for example, you just delete it because it's already been published. So the next thing after I go through everything that's already on here is I go through, this is what I was saying before. These are all of the papers under consideration. And I make sure that they're all in here because the new ones that we got this month won't be in there. So I go through all of them and I just copy and paste in like command.
Sorry, so anything
Yeah.
that's in the admin checklist, which is like where it first goes, you don't have that in there?
You need everything in there. So oh my God, why doesn't it let me go back?
So wait, so the admin checklist, you do put everything in there, or like?
Yeah, you put everything if it's not a special issue in. So this right here, it's broken down by what step it's in, but here is all of them.
Okay, I was thinking it was like two separate.
Yeah, okay. These are just lists. So this is all of the original papers and then all of the revised papers. So then this is probably a new one. Oh, that's the one I made a mistake on. I'll go to this one. So this one I don't think is in there. So not copy and paste. I search every single one in here to make sure that they're in the articles inventory. And then if it's not in there, like I don't think this one is. No, this isn't in there. I add it. So I make a new row. And then you put this relevant information. So I'm going to put the manuscript ID. Which one is that? This one. View details is how you go select view details, and then Marcia. Marcia's the EIC, right? Oh, right there. Marcia's the EIC. So I put Marcia. And then I put the author, I put the title, and then I put the reviewers if there's been reviewers, and I add where it is right here in the process. And then I go through all of these to make sure that they're all in there. And then you do the same thing after you do the original papers, you do the revised papers. And then just quickly go through the first look. These are everything that's been accepted, and make sure that all of the ones that aren't special issues are here in the accepted articles table. So do you have any questions about that?
I don't think so. I feel like the chart isn't too bad.
No, the chart's not that bad. None of this is really that bad. It's just kind of like familiarizing yourself with it. And then
yeah, I think that's like how I'm feeling right now, because it's like, oh God, it's a lot. But then I see what you're saying, that it's probably get used to it.
You really we're the same age, so like you know how to use a computer. It's not like you have to code. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's like you just have to become familiar with like a new interface.
Yeah, like a new like program.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's really just like it's the biggest thing with this job is just kind of monitoring the email, making sure you're doing things timely. And like I've said to you before, no one is really there, like no one else has access to what's on there. So if you're like slacking off, like no one knows. So it's really just kind of on you to make sure that you're doing this often and making sure things get through. But that being said, there's no like deadline besides the articles inventory. So if you're like having a tough week and like you have an exam for one day or whatever, like you can like put things off a couple days without it being like detrimental to the journal. And then sometimes, I've never done this, but you can always email Barbara and Marcia and just say, look, I'm having a busy week. I'm going to be kind of less on the radar. Let me know if there's an emergency. But other than that, if I don't respond quickly, that's why. But also, like, you don't have to respond to them like immediately. Like it's not a big deal in that sense. Like you need to be on top of things and you need to be like managing yourself, but at the same time, there's like you make your own deadlines in a sense, if that makes sense.
No, it does. The only other question I wanted to ask you was like, how often do you, I guess, go on or like check your emails? Because obviously you only go on when you get an email, right? Pretty much.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. If I don't have an email, there's nothing on Scholar One that I don't know about.
Gotcha. So do you just like check your email every day or like
I check it
like,
every day. I also have it on my phone. I just haven't, I'm logged into it on my phone.
yeah.
So I check it every day. Like if I check it, like if I can't check it one day, I check it the next day. And then like every other day, I kind of make sure everything's good in Scholar One pretty much. As long as you're doing it like every 3 days, probably. There's going to be some things that come up that I can't prepare you for because sometimes you'll get emails from authors. Like I got one the other day from this author and she was asking me something. I literally don't even know what she was asking me. And I was just kind of like, I was like, the editorial process is like separate from this. If you want me to like connect you with Delilah, I can, but basically like we have students look over for and check grammar before anything goes to the publishing company, like stuff like that. Like I don't even know really the process on the school side. And it's never been a problem. If you can't answer a question, there's always Delilah and then not Delilah, it'll be both Nicole's because really like Liz and Delilah were the only people I ever had to work with on Hofstra's side. No one else can really like help you with anything. Even like Sid's position has nothing to do with this. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so just those two. If there's anything that comes up that you can't answer, you can always ask them and they'll help you. And then you can always ask Barbara and Marcia too. They are pretty helpful in certain respects. Like as long as it's not like a technical question, like
Yeah,
they're like happy to help if they can help. Like
yeah.
they're funny. Like I actually really like both of them and they're honestly great to work with. They're just it is what it is. They're just like a little overbearing sometimes. But they're really great. Like they really are great.
No, I believe it.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions right now?
I think I asked everything that I was like thinking of as you were talking. I definitely will probably have more as it goes forward. So I'll always like text you or whatever.
So I'll send you probably tonight. I'll send you the write-up I did and then all of the account information. I'll change the email to your name. And then you don't have to look at anything until the 1st, which I think again, it's Friday, right? The 1st. Yeah. So that you don't even don't look at anything until Friday. Try to do the articles inventory and then send it to me and I'll look at it and then I'll send it to everyone and I'll CC you on the email. And then yeah, and then that will be it. Then you can take over. And then whenever you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay. And are you gonna send me the like chart in the email?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
Yeah. So I'll do that tonight. And then again, you don't have to look at it until Friday, because even though like you could start working on the articles inventory, you're going to have to make sure nothing's changed on Friday. So you're going to have to go through it again on Friday either way. So it might just be easier for you. But I also like that's just kind of how I work. I would rather get everything done in like a chunk than
No, I get that.
yeah. So if you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to do it
No,
that
I'll
way.
probably just do it that way.
Yeah. I know. I don't want to be like,
Way.
like wait till the last day to do it, but that's literally what I did. And it was,
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
probably, we're
horrendous.
probably like the same person.
Yeah,
Honestly.
honestly, probably, because
Yeah,
I was like, I actually tried like the first 2 months, like to update it every time I did anything. But then I was kind of like, what's the point? Like, I don't, like I have to go through everything
Yeah.
again on the first.
like,
So
yeah.
sometimes I do it the night before. Like I said, it has to be the first, but it could be like the 31st.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. But,
Okay.
and then I think the latest I ever submitted one was like this January, because it was like New Year's Eve and I was traveling, and I think I was like 5 days late, and like literally no one said anything. I like no one was like, where's the articles inventory? So
Okay, yeah, that's good to know too.
yeah. Like I'm not telling you to like don't do things on
Yeah,
time,
like
but
be
like,
I get what you're saying though.
yeah, but like it's not the end of the world, like,
No, yeah, I get it.
which is what I really like about this position. It's just like very flexible to your own schedule.
Yeah, I think that will work for my life, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. I'm happy that you're excited for this. I'm happy to be done, and not because not because like
You're probably just happy to be done with
I'm
law
just happy
school.
to be done with law school. Like,
Trust me, I'm already at that point I want to be done, so I totally get it.
I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know if it's the same for you, but we had a site checking after I took this on, and I thought that was the most annoying thing. So
I mean, we haven't
sorry.
gotten anything yet, but
We had one in July last
watch us get
year.
like an email like in the
Yeah.
next couple weeks or something.
We had one in July last year.
I heard that we would probably get one over the
Yeah.
summer, so yikes.
I know.
I'm like, whatever. I mean, because you probably have to do this over the summer too, right?
Yeah, you do have to.
Yeah.
do this
So
over
if I'm
summer.
already doing something for journal, I guess it's not
Yeah.
that big a deal. I actually don't mind site checking, which is very weird. Like I know
I actually don't either. I
found
prefer
it weirdly therapeutic.
I don't know. Actually, it's so funny you're saying that. Like I felt the same way. Like I didn't like the grammar check.
No, but the chart, like
But I like the chart. Yeah. I literally felt the same way. It's so funny. I said the same thing. I was like, I actually like prefer the site checking to the grammar checking. And
yes,
it's
wait,
like, you're crazy.
why are we like, I think we're so alike, because
I know we are.
I said that to somebody like who's, it's who else on FCR, and they were like, oh, that's weird. I'm like,
I know. I said the same. It's so funny. I said that to Sid last year, and Sid was like, you're crazy. And I was like, no, I just like it better.
I honestly think it's like a
puzzle almost.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
doing anything that's organizational, like really just does something for me.
Yeah. So I think you'll probably like this, then you'll like doing the articles inventory.
Yeah, it's like clean. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, I'm happy. I hope you're excited for this.
Yeah, I am. I'm just more
It's honestly
get the hang of it.
You will. Don't worry. Like really don't worry about it. Like you'll get the hang of it. And hopefully I trained you like well enough. Me and the girl last year were like the first people that really like figure this out. Like the person that had this position before her, I don't even know what they did. Like I don't know details about it because it was before I was on the journal, but apparently it was just like a disaster. And she had to like train herself and like figure out everything on her own. And then
oh wow, yeah, that would be horrible.
And then so we're already like in a better position than she was, and I hope that like it will be even easier for you than it was for me. But it's really honestly like a cool position because it's just so unique. Like no other journal has this type of position, so it's just really cool and like interesting. And it's it just is what it is. It's flexible to your own time. It's like, I'm not going to say it's like easy or anything. And it's honestly can be really annoying, but they all are like that. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it's an extra responsibility. It is what it is, you know?
Yeah, but it's like you already have that in 2L.
Yeah.
Probably more so, I feel like.
Yeah, like you're gonna have, if you're gonna have something on the journal, like it might as, like you're gonna have to do something on the journal regardless, especially ours where we have to have a position. So
Yeah, exactly.
it
No,
might as well
I
be
think
this
it'll
one.
be a good fit for me because
Yeah, I think so too.
I-
You know what else is great about this is like other positions, like if someone else doesn't do their work, it falls on you. And then this, like it really has, no one else's like laziness can affect you at all. It's all just how you do it.
yeah, which that also is something I don't like to do is like
Yeah.
rely on other people. So
I know. Me too. I just want to be like, I was like, that's what I liked about this is like, I was just on my own doing my own thing. And then sometimes if I had to like do something with Delilah, we would do something.
yeah, which is not bad. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for just
Yeah,
like
of
typing up
course.
that whole thing for me. Like I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. And I'll get it to you
Honestly,
by
if you
the end
didn't,
of
I'd
the
be
day.
lost. I'd be like, oh God, I don't remember any of that.
No, you'll get the hang of it so fast, I promise. And I am always there to answer questions. And you know what? I'm gonna like keep the login and stuff. I'm not gonna go on unless you ask me to. But if you like really can't figure something out and I can't explain it to you, I can go on and show you how to do it.
Yeah,
Also, so
Yeah.
okay. So look out for an email from me tonight and let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you so much
Yeah,
again.
of
Really
course.
appreciate it.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too.